The point of this is this camera good enough? Is it worth the money? My answer, this is no spec tech. We talk about specs, but they're not the point. I'm Neighbor Nerd, and I'm shooting this video on the Xtra Muse, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 clone we've all seen on Amazon. You'll see me changing locations throughout this video to see the camera operating in a bunch of different environments. Now we're at the dog park, and I want to test out the active tracking, not with a person, but with one of these little guys. Once I got the camera set up at the dog park, I was really impressed with how well it tracked my golden retriever. I just watched the head move gently and calmly to wherever he was going. Watching the head move around so it follows whatever you've double tapped is pretty cool. Now if I move this way, the camera moves to follow him. If I move this way, I had it locked onto the golden retriever at first, and it followed him way longer than I would have expected it to, but it lost the blue heeler pretty quickly, but he's a lot zippier, so maybe that's why. Okay, so great lighting, right? Great lighting right in the middle of my face, you can see that. Now if we turn this way, how does it look? All right, you guys have a good time? Guess not. My favorite part is how fun it is to shoot with this camera, but I also love that it's discreet. There have been a couple of times where I feel like I've gotten caught recording myself, and that's always embarrassing, but for some reason it feels a little bit more acceptable using this camera than a cell phone. These are a few sequences I shot at the grocery store in just a few minutes. I could just stop, hit record, change the angle, hit record, and change the angle, hit record. When I was getting this sequence, I could just walk through the aisle, and because you can move the head, you can get dynamic shots. So right now the audio is going directly into the camera. I'm recording in 4K 24 frames per second. Once the Pocket 3 gets here next week, I'll go ahead and put a video together comparing a bunch of shots, put some imagery side by side so that anyone who's interested can get a comparison of the two and see if there's any difference worth measuring. And I know the DJI Pocket 3 is a hot commodity right now. So if this could save some people money and works anywhere near as well as the DJI Pocket 3, then one of the things you're gonna notice on this channel is I'm always trying to help people save money. It's the next day and I wanted to give an idea of what it's like to get imagery outside. As you can see, I'm surrounded by nature, so this is what it would sound like and look like if you were doing something outdoors. I want to show different lighting conditions, let you know what it sounds like to use the internal microphone, because it's the most grab and go option you can have. It makes it super easy to use the camera anytime, anywhere. As always, this is 100% not sponsored, just my curiosity getting the best of me. The coolest thing about this camera is how easy it is to use and how much fun it is to actually shoot video. I typically don't enjoy that part of doing this. I love planning, I even like editing. But shooting video is typically my least favorite part because it requires so much skill to get the images that you see in your head, and I just don't have those skills yet. So anyway, it's always a little awkward when people are looking, but here we go. Whoopsie. I don't know why it is so embarrassing when somebody sees you using a camera. I was very confident back there until I saw somebody looking. It's about 90 degrees out here. I have been recording on and off for about 20 minutes. The battery's been lasting. I am looking forward to comparing everything on this camera to the DJI Osmo Pocket, but I don't foresee any differences. All right, I see some shade over here, so I'm gonna walk through it so you can get an idea of what it's like to change lighting conditions and how the camera manages that. It's changing. Okay, now we're in shade. Let's walk out this way. From the little bit I can see, it looks like it's doing a pretty good job. All right, how's the stabilization doing? Because I knew I was gonna be doing this review, almost all of the B-roll of my last video that doesn't have this background was shot using this camera. I tried to put a very faint little white X in the bottom left corner, I don't know which one's left for you, of the videos that were taken on my phone or on my Sony EV10 Mark II. Also, all of the shots with this background in that Mac 4 video were shot with the Sony, so if you're anything like me and evaluating way too many cameras, you can take a look at how my interview shot looks on this camera and compare it to the Sony EV10 Mark II. If you're a beginner content creator like I am, you might get an idea of the kind of shots you'll be able to get when compared to the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I know there's a lot of rumors out there about them being made by the same company. I'm not here to get into any of that. Whether it's true or not doesn't really impact me. In all honesty, I was gonna buy the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, but it's sold out everywhere. Well, that's not exactly true. It just would take too long to get to me, and I'm used to Amazon's next day shipping. So I figured, why not? I couldn't find enough information on this camera. I thought it would be something fun to review. Very weird fact, An acquaintance of mine who lives in the very same city did a review on this camera and some side-by-side comparison shots. So I'm gonna put a link to his video and hopefully you come back to see mine soon. But his video is awesome. Oh, and I totally forgot that I was going to connect the DJI Mic Mini. It does have to be connected physically through the USB-C port, but let's see how that sounds. Okay, so how do we like it with the DJI Mic Mini? Part of my personality thinks, you know, it's only $150 more to get something more reliable, but then at the same time, it is a lot of money. And if the internals are as similar as they've been saying in some of the articles online, I have to think it might be worth saving some money. My goal is to always help you find ways to make tech work for you, your way, in your life. Hopefully saving you some money along the way. I put affiliate links in the description for the microphone, for the camera. Hopefully the sale is still going, so if you use those links, of course it'll help me out, but no need to if you'd rather just Google it. The most important thing is learning how to operate the joystick. Once you master that, you don't really have to get into anything else. But there are additional settings that I would say could take it up. And once you get beyond that point, you'll want to upgrade to something that'll challenge you a little bit more. Getting used to creating videos as a one-man team, I think I'm getting the most for my money out of this camera. The point of this is this camera good enough? Is it worth the money? My answer is yes. I've tested it out in enough places now to know that if it continues to operate like this, I would be very happy with the money I spent. I'll be comparing this to the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 in the next week or two, so hit that subscribe button if you're interested in seeing that. Let me know what questions you have in the comments because I would love to answer them and make sure I don't miss anything in my comparison video. I'm gonna give the one takeaway that I did not expect to get out of using this camera, and that takeaway is that it is fun to use it. Very close to as easy as a mobile phone camera. It also ups the complexity and capabilities in a way that I feel like will help generate more unique visuals, bring ideas from your imagination onto the screen, and it's half the price of the iPhone that I purchased as my first camera for content creation. I'm a Google Pixel user, loud and proud, but in terms of video, hard to compete with Apple. I'm Neighbor Nerd. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you gained something out of this video and that you have a beautiful day. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. I can't believe it's still going. That's crazy.